Beneath the streets of ancient Rome, deeper than the aqueducts, older than the sewers, lies a network of tunnels so carefully concealed that no official map ever recorded their existence. These were not built for water, not for escape, not even for the early Christians. They were built for silence, for secrecy, for power, and in their deepest chamber, known only as Oraculum Tenebrarum, the oracular chamber of shadows, the true rulers of the Roman Empire gathered in silence to decide the fate of emperors, wars, and the Senate itself. This was not a myth, it was a system, a hidden government that operated beneath the visible one, where sacerdotes in black robes, their faces hidden by hoods, met in absolute quiet to perform rituals that shaped the destiny of an empire. No speeches, no debates, only chants in a forgotten dialect of Etruscan, believed to summon the spirits of past rulers. No names were spoken, no records kept, because the moment a secret is written, it can be found. And in Rome, the penalty for discovering the tunnels was not death, it was erasure. The condemned would be buried alive in the Campus Sceleratus, their names scratched from all inscriptions, their family disinherited, their very existence denied. The tunnels were accessed through 7 hidden entrances, beneath the Temple of Vesta, the Palatine Hill, the Colosseum, the Forum, the Baths of Caracalla, the Mausoleum of Augustus, and the Temple of Isis. Each entrance was guarded by a single priest who never spoke, known only as the Keeper of the Threshold, and only those who had proven loyalty, through years of service, sacrifice, or silence, were allowed to descend. The first chamber was called the Hall of Whispers, where informants reported on the private lives of senators, generals, and emperors. Nothing was too small. A man's fear of snakes, his preference for certain wines, his relationship with his mother, all were recorded, not in writing, but in memory, passed from one priest to the next. The second chamber, the Chamber of Mirrors, forced initiates to confront their deepest fears in a room lined with black glass, lit only by torchlight. Many went mad, few survived, and the final chamber, Oraculum Tenebrarum, was where the ritual of succession took place. When an emperor lost favor, the council did not vote. They performed a ceremony in which a golden heart, symbolizing the genius of Rome, was placed on a stone altar. The man who could touch it without fear was chosen as the next ruler. Not because he was strong, but because he was controllable. The existence of the tunnels was not a secret to everyone. In the 4th century, a Christian historian named Aurelius Secundus wrote in a private manuscript, "I have walked the underground corridors beneath the Palatine. I have seen the stone door with the mark of the serpent and the crown, and I have heard the chant, 'The voice of Rome speaks only in silence.'" The manuscript was discovered in 1897, hidden in a wall near the Forum Romanum. But it was dismissed as heresy until 1965, when a team of archaeologists excavating beneath the Temple of Vesta found a narrow staircase descending into darkness. They followed it for over 300 meters before it collapsed. In the rubble, they recovered a fragment of a stone tablet inscribed with the words Oraculum Tenebrarum, nil dicit, omnia regit, the oracle of shadows. It speaks nothing, it rules all. The discovery was never published. The excavation was sealed, and the team was quietly reassigned. Was it proof of the tunnels? Not definitive, but combined with historical patterns, it forms a compelling case. Emperors who challenged the priestly class, Caligula, Nero, Domitian, met violent ends. Those who cooperated, Augustus, Claudius, Trajan, were celebrated. The Senate debated laws, but the tunnels decided power. And the most telling evidence is not in stone, it is in art. Look at Caravaggio's The Calling of St. Matthew. The scene is set in a dark room, lit by a single beam of light. Men sit at a table, frozen in silence. One points, but no one speaks. It is not a religious scene. It is a metaphor, a depiction of power born in shadow. Look at Goya's The Sleep of Reason. Produces monsters. The monsters are not demons. They are men in robes, with blood on their hands. And look at Zdzisław Beksinski's dystopian landscapes. Not fantasy, but visions of underground labyrinths where fire still burns and silence still reigns. The tunnels were not just physical. They were symbolic, a warning that the true power of any empire is not in its laws, but in its secrets. Today, no one walks the tunnels beneath Rome, but the system they represent lives on, not in stone, in institutions, in silence, in control. The modern successor to Oraculum Tenebrarum is not a chamber beneath the Palatine. It is a boardroom in a skyscraper, a private dinner in a secluded villa, a classified meeting in a government bunker. The sacerdotes are not in black robes, they are in suits. They do not chant in Etruscan. They negotiate in silence. They leak information. They create crises. And when a leader becomes too independent, too dangerous, they do not bury him alive. They destroy his reputation. They turn the public against him. They make him irrelevant. This is not conspiracy. It is institutional power. And it operates on the same principle as the ancient tunnels, the transfer of legitimacy through hidden rituals. The modern emperor does not die in a bath. He resigns after a scandal. He loses an election. He is replaced by a more compliant figure, and the public never sees the hand that guides it. But the symbols remain: the silence, the control, the erasure of truth, because the most dangerous power is not the sword, it is the absence of voice. And one day, when the fire falls, the truth will rise again. If this video opened your eyes, please like, subscribe, and turn on the bell. Next time, how Roman emperors were chosen by secret councils and sacrificed when they became too powerful.